Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing this holiday smoky eyeshadow look. This is perfect for New Year's Eve or just for going out. Even if you're staying home and you just want to glam it up for a night. It's always fun, right, to do that. So I'm going to show you how I created this look. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. All right, to prep the face, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer Serum. I'm just going to put some on my finger, apply it to the skin. My skin has been kind of dry because of the winter, so this hydrating serum is going to just moisturize my skin a little bit more. And then I'm going to use the Benefit Porefessional for the center of my face. That's kind of where I have my problem areas and my pores. And I'm just going to apply a little bit. A little bit goes a long way on this, by the way. Just on the center of my face, anywhere where you have your problem areas. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Poreless Foundation. This is the matte poreless foundation. I'm going to be mixing two shades just because I was in between two shades. And again, I couldn't find, one that would fit me best. All right, so let's go ahead and put on some eyeshadow base, and I'm going to be using the Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow base. I got this in one of my BoxyCharm boxes, and I really liked it. So I'm just applying a light coat all over the eyelid. And trust me, for this eyeshadow look, you are going to want to use an eyeshadow base, and even if you don't have one, you can use concealer, just like a good matte concealer. That would work too. For my eyes, I'm going to be using the Morphe palette by James Charles. This is the mini palette. I've used this in one of my last videos as well, but I really wanted to use these blues here, and I don't have a lot of palettes that have these bright blues, and I feel like it's got every shade that I'm going to need for this look. So let's go ahead and jump in with our transition shade. And I'm sorry, I don't have the names for the shades here because it comes in a little plastic thing with the names on them. So I don't know the names of them, but I'm going to be picking up this shade right here. And you can pick up, like, if you have a different palette, just any similar shades would work. You can follow along. So for my transition shade, I'm going to be using this nude tone here. And I'm just going to sweep it across the eyelid here. And I'm just using a fluffy brush from Morphe. This is the M504 brush. I love this brush for transition shades. It just applies your eyeshadows very nicely and very blendable. Oh, by the way, I am missing a nail. My dog, he was being an Airedale, being Tommy. And I ended up breaking a nail when I was trying to get him in the house. He just pulled on the leash so hard and I ended up snapping a nail. It sucks. Okay, next I'm going to pick up the black shade here. So any black shade will work. And just picking a little bit on a kind of a flat brush. This is by Luna Magic. I'm not sure the brush name here, but just any precise brush. And I'm going to start in the outer corner of the eye. And just pack it on. You don't want to do sweeping motions in this one because it just, the black can be kind of scary. So you can really control where you want your eyeshadow if you just tap it on. And then later on we can go in and blend with a clean brush. So I'm just going to add it to the outer corner of the eye and just pack it on. And it's okay if you end up getting it like on the bottom part or kind of too far out because we're going to go in and clean that up anyway. And then I'm probably going to bring it up a little bit in the crease here. Now I have hooded eyes, so it's really hard for me to do a lot of these like cut creases and like really neat, dramatic, like cat eye looks. So when you have hooded eyes, you know the struggle. But just kind of have to work around it. All right, so I did the other eye. Now we're going to go with a clean, fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend everything out. Just again, concentrating it on the outer corner, and then bringing that black. I'm not picking up any more color or anything, any eyeshadow. I'm just using the black that's already on my eye and doing sweeping motions and blend, blend, blend. so that you can get some of that smokiness kind of towards the center of your eye. I think the key with smoky eyes, like no matter what color smoky eye you want to do, is really just blending it and, you know, going back and adding more, and blending it out. Because I know these eye looks can be kind of scary if you're not used to working with a lot of dark shades or a lot of color. Or so you see how it's kind of blending in the difference. So just keep blending it. Again, I'm not picking up any more product. I'm just blending that in. All right, that looks better. We'll probably go back to adding a little bit more black, but now I want to move on to these blues. So going back to a similar kind of flat, precise brush, I'm going to pick up this shade right here, this blue. And I'm going to start working it in towards the inner corner of the eye, in the center of the eye. So again, I'm just using packing motions here. And now just kind of focusing a little bit, I'm kind of, you know, moving closer to the inner of the eye. And even adding it a little over the black that we just added. And then we're going to go back and blend again. And I actually think I want to go ahead and add this blue on the inner corner of the eye. Again, just using tapping motions, just pressing that color in and just packing it on here. All right, and then once you kind of have the two in there, then we're going to connect the two shades together, the two blues in the center of the eye. But I'm not going to add any more product on there just because I want everything to be blended out. So now I'm just kind of using the brush and with that same, what I already have applied on my eyelid, just connecting the two. And I feel like New Year's is like the time that you can play with these like, you know, really different colors and not have to stick to neutrals. You can do a lot of shimmery, like this is your chance to go all out, right? Like blues, metallics, highlighters, glitter, just anything. So I think New Year's is like one of my favorite times to do our makeup. Now, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna stay home and celebrate and maybe cook like a lobster dinner and scallops. So we'll just be staying in. But there is nothing wrong with wanting to look fabulous, even if you're staying in, okay? And then I'm gonna go in with the same clean, fluffy brush that we used to blend out the black eyeshadow. I'm just gonna go over it with the sweeping motion and blend the blue out here. And just doing back and forth quick sweeping motions. Okay, we may go back and add a little bit more. Again, this is totally buildable. Now, let's see. Okay, now I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Liquid Eyeshadow. They have a lot of different shades in these glittery shadows, and this is in the shade Ocean Blue. And I'm going to just use some of it, and I'm going to swatch a little bit of it here so you can see. It's really shiny. Up close, it looks really pretty. But we're going to use that in the center of the eye and just make that pop. And I think what I'm going to do is just apply it here first and then use my finger to just dab it in. And I'm going to just add a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to do the other eye. I think that looks really nice. And we're probably going to go in and deepen up the crease. I think I want to add a little bit more black. I think that looks really cute. I love how it shimmers, but I do want to go add and deepen up the creases. And so I'm going to go back with the black. Oops, dropping everything here. I'm going to go back with the black and just kind of deepen up the creases here. So I'm kind of going back and adding just more of the black. And that's why I said, you know, in the beginning, you don't want to add too much. It's better just to add little by little until you get the intensity that you want. Yeah, see, that's way more like deep. All right, again, I'm using that same fluffy brush and just blending out, trying to be careful to not go into the glitter here because we just want to really focus that in the center of the eye anyway. All right, once you have the intensity of the darkness or the depth that you want on your smoky eye, I'm gonna go in and try to blend a little bit better the outer part of the dark shades here with the brow bone. And a really good trick of that, if you're kind of having a hard time blending, I like to go in and maybe use kind of like these two shades. I'm gonna mix them kind of like a brick kind of tone. So I'm gonna go in and mix these two shades here and dust off the excess. And then I'm gonna add it right kind of on top of the black and where I don't have any eyeshadow. And I'm telling you, it makes like the biggest difference. But you really want to wait until you're done with all your deep shades to do this. And see, it just kind of like adds a really cool transition. And I'm just blending this out all over the eyelid. And this is the Morphe M518 brush. I love these Morphe brushes. They're just so perfect. They have huge variety and they're super affordable. But yeah, you see the difference between this look and this look. This is just kind of more of a really cool transition versus this one you can tell is a little messy. Okay, so we're gonna fix that. Okay, so I think we are done with the eyes. Now I'm going to finish the rest of my face. We're gonna go back and probably clean up the bottom of the eyes just in case you have any fallout. So I like to use, you can use a makeup remover or maybe just some micellar water, I think is how you pronounce it. And I'm just gonna sweep it underneath the eye and we will finish off the face. Well, we'll come back to the eyes actually. All right, so this is where you can kind of clean everything up. Just one sweeping motion slowly. All right, so we're gonna come back to the eyes later. So we're gonna finish off the face and I'm gonna be using the Born This Way Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer. That was a mouthful. This shade is a little bit dark for me, but it's okay because we're gonna go back in and add a little bit of highlight underneath the eye. But I'm just going to add some concealer underneath and use a damp beauty sponge. All right, so we got our concealer on and I'm gonna be using for contouring the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour kit in the shade Light. I have not used this in a very long time and I'm pretty sure it's dried out. It is dried out. And I wanted to show you guys a quick little trick if you do have a lot of like these cream shadows or cream contouring kits. I saw this in another YouTube video. So I also picked up the Tarte Maracuja, it's called Maracuja oil. This is a little traveler size, but this stuff is awesome. You can use it before your moisturizer, at night, during the day, just to add some extra hydration. But we can also use this as just add a little drop, and a little bit goes a long way to any of your, I'm already spilling it, to any of your cream, makeup, and literally just adding one drop on the shades that are drying out that I may want to use. Okay, so once I got my drop, I'm going to go in and just, you really just pack it on everywhere. And it just literally revives any creams. So I'm going to be using the shade Java and I'm going to add it to my cheekbones, right underneath my cheekbone. Okay, now with a brush, we're just going to blend everything out. You can also blend it with a beauty blender, but I think I'm just going to use a brush for this. All right, so my camera died. So while I was charging, I went ahead and just added a wing eyeliner and my eyelashes. The eyelashes that I'm using are from Beauty Creations in the style 1 milli. And so I figured you didn't really care to see all that part, but I got that on. So to brighten up the face, I'm gonna be using this banana shade right here. And again, I'm just mixing in the oil that I had added. All right. And I'm just going to add a little bit on my cheekbone and maybe a little bit on the bottom. against the jawline and in the center of the forehead, just anywhere where you would normally get natural sunlight. And then the center of the bridge of the nose. Okay, after that is done, I'm going to blend everything out with the Beauty Blender. And while my camera was charging, I found out that actually it's better to blend any cream contouring with a damp beauty sponge rather than a brush. At least with this one, with this Anastasia one, I found that it was much better to blend it with a damp beauty sponge. I'm going to be using just a powder bronzer just to deepen up the cheekbones and set the cream contour. That way nothing moves, everything stays in place. There we go. Much better. And then to set the under eyes, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I love this stuff. I actually just got it. Just going to bake a little bit underneath the eye just to set and brighten up the eye. And probably here too. Anywhere where we highlighted. All right, we're going to let that sit for a little bit. And then we're going to finish up the eyes. I'm going to be adding some eyeliner, some black eyeliner underneath the waterline. I really wanted to use kind of like a cobalt blue, but I don't have any cobalt blue waterline eyeliner. So now I got to do this off camera because I can't, I need to focus when I add it on my waterline. And I'm going to be using kind of like a pencil brush. And again, I'm going to go back and pick up some of this blue that we used and add it underneath the eye. Just to kind of add to that smoky look. Okay, we added some of that. I think I want to add a little bit of black as well, just on the outer corner of the eye. Yes. Now we're smoking. Now I'm going to sweep off the powder using a stippling brush. We are going to pop some mascara underneath the eyes, and we're almost done. All right, so I popped some mascara underneath the on the lower lash line. All right, so now I'm going to be adding some blush. This is the e.l.f. Bite Size Duo blush in the shade Watermelon. I really like these little blushes. And I'm just adding it to the apple of the cheeks. And bringing it back. And then we're going to do some setting spray. I'm going to be using the No Filter Setting Mist by ColourPop. I just picked this up, by the way. My camera's about to die. All right, and right after we set everything, I'm going to go in and hit the highlight points of my face with the Benefit highlighter. I love this highlighter, and I love applying a little bit on the center of the nose. You see that? It's so cute. On the cheekbones, a little bit on the forehead, and a little bit on the center here of the nose. All right, so my camera's about to die again. I'm gonna go fix this hair because it is out of control, and we will come back and finish the lips, and I will show you the final look. Okay, I'm back. I finally got this hair done. Just did some quick curls, and now we're gonna finish up the lips. I'm going to line my lips with the LA Girl lip pencil in the shade Sugar and Spice. And I feel like when you have a smoky eye, you don't want to go too crazy with the lips, so I'm just going to keep them neutral. And I'm going to add a lip gloss here. This is in the NYX Lip Lingerie, in the color Sable. All right, so this is the final look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy New Year, stay safe, and see you next time. Bye.